Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another brand new episode of the Enlightenment Podcast, where we discuss spiritual ideas that utterly transform your life. Today I'm joined with the main man, Carlos, and we're talking about veganism. This is being live streamed. We're going to debate, discuss our ideas, and afterwards, I want you to write down in the comments who you feel won the debate. Loser has to go skinny dipping in Antarctica. Winner gets the other person's food in their fridge. A vegan food, of course. Don't even have to mention that. Without further ado, my friends and ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Carlos, welcome to the show.
What up? What up? It's your boy DJ Los. Welcome back to another episode of Scary Hours Podcast. So as usual, we're going to make this as uncomfortable as possible. I want to make a reminder to everybody out there who's listening for the first time. Join the Discord channel. You can join Shiva's Discord channel through his community posts, or you can join my Discord channel through my community posts. We have links there for you to join. If you want to join any one of these conversations, join the Discord, have a conversation with us, and we'll bring you on anytime. We can talk about any topics about spirituality, dating, life in general, veganism, whatever it is. But anyway, let's get into the subject. So, Shiva, we've had this conversation 1,010,000,000 times. I understand people love to hear about it, so I guess we're going to do it 1,010,001 more time.
So let me start with my initial arguments, and then you can do any kind of rebuttal that you want, and we'll proceed from that. So my argument, my experience is that people that aren't vegan are inherently unethical. Why is this the case? Because paying for animals to get slaughtered is an unethical action. In the same way that if I paid someone to hire someone as a hitman to exterminate or extinguish you, that's an unethical action. I deserve to be in jail. Similarly, if I pay someone else to exterminate or slaughter an animal, that's also an unethical action, and I deserve to be in jail. In most of the countries around the planet, killing animals is illegal. It's considered animal abuse. But because human beings have weird and funny, stupid thoughts, we trap animals inside of cages, we breed them into existence, we feed them terrible diets just for their body parts. So if you're a meat eater out there, you should stop it, and you should eat a healthy vegan diet.
Oh, that sounds very cute, very heartwarming and emotional argument. Thank you for pulling on all the heartstrings. Now, let me ask you a question, Shiva. Who gets to decide what is ethical? And do you even know the reason why you're here on this planet Earth? Who put you here? How long are you going to be here for? And what is the purpose of being on this planet?
Yeah, well, the first question is relevant to our debate. The other two is too existential for this eating animals part. But I'll answer the first part very easily. Who decides what is ethical? We do as human beings decide what is ethical.
And how do we come to decide what is ethical?
We come to decide what is ethical based on the pain received by other individuals. So generally speaking, if something causes pain or misery or hurt to other life forms that are sentient and feel pain, that's considered unethical. We all would generally agree that's an unethical action.
So by your argument, we would already all be vegan.
Well, we're not all vegan because human beings aren't ethical. They're quite selfish and not really intelligent, a lot of them.
So what you're saying is we all decide what's ethical, and we've all decided to eat meat. Over 90, probably over 99% of us. And we've all decided that's ethical. So guess what? According to your logic, that's ethical.
No,
We win.
objectively, that's not ethical. That's unethical. And you would agree with me also on this that the majority of human beings don't really consciously consider this action to be ethical or not ethical. They're just kind of blind to it. They don't really want to think about it too much because they profit off of this too badly. It is unethical fundamentally.
Let
Just
me
as,
try to help your argument real quick here. So what you're trying to say is that you feel to you, when you look at it, it seems like it's not nice. You see an animal getting unalived, and right away you think, this is so sad. I can't believe this is happening. Look at how horrible it is. We need to stop this sad and horrible thing from happening. And of course, at face value, anybody could agree with you on that point. However, my friend, if you were to look at things in a much more deeper way, and I'd even argue in a much more spiritual way, you would recognize that we are all put on this planet by some force that we both can't prove who it is. We don't know exactly why they put us here. But what we can see though is that he makes most things eat each other. And you have to wonder, why is that? And then even the things that don't eat each other, they still come to a horrible conclusion where they become unhealthy, suffer for many months and years, and then still eventually come to pass whether we eat them or not. Now, would you call that ethical?
you make a lot of assumptions and conclusions in that. I don't want to answer your question because that would make me assume all the things you just pointed out. So let's just take it step by step. Coming back to the first point you made, that us as human beings, this is not something that just happens. We do this to animals. Us human beings. A particularly small group of people go in the slaughterhouse every day because they get paid to do so by you and other individuals like you, because you don't want to do it yourself. It's a little bit too gross. It's way past your humanity if you were living on a farm and you're a conscious, sentient human being to look at a cow that you've raised. Hey, let's go slaughter it. There are people that are doing that too. Very, very confused people, I would add. But we are doing this. This isn't happening. We're doing it. And us as conscious human beings that have the capability to rationalize things and to create ethics and to see right from wrong, it's a human concept, right from wrong. We can understand that killing and abusing animals is wrong. Abusing animals is wrong. And killing animals is also wrong. You can kill an animal for self-defense and other very special purposes, but fundamentally for your taste pleasures, that's not an acceptable, justifiable reason to end them, enslave them, and torture them, and end their lives.
Yeah, so basically, the part that you need to understand here is this.
I'm trying to understand.
I forgot what the hell I
Let
just
let
said.
me let me. I need to finish.
Somebody's commenting on my channel that your sound is bad, so I got thrown off.
Oh,
But it's probably not yours. It's probably on my side. My Discord is. Let me questions and answers. Let me know if you can still hear Shiva. Shiva, can you keep talking
yes.
for a little bit?
So the ethics side of veganism and
Questions. Does it sound better now? Let me know if it sounds better now. Anyway, what was the last point that you made, Shiva? I need to get back on track.
well, to come back to your to the yeah, we're doing this to other animals' lives, and we should probably stop it because it's very cruel. It's cruel. It's a cruel practice.
Cruel practice. Okay, good. You sound better now, apparently. All right, cool. So anyway, like I said, Shiva, I didn't put myself here on planet Earth, okay? And you're dodging the question that I asked you. the higher power that we both believe in, source, the universe, whatever it is, put us here to DIE.
Right.
You understand? They
Yep.
put us here to DIE. When you're born, the second that you're born, you're already being unalived. Children are unalived as soon as they're born. Some of them have horrible diseases. I get horrible diseases. Animals get horrible diseases. Unfortunate things happen regardless. And even if you live a pristine, perfect, healthy life, you still end up living the last couple of years and months of your life horribly until you no longer exist. So please tell me who created this system, because it sure as heck wasn't me. I know you want to dance around that subject, but I
All right.
need
All
you
right.
to answer it directly.
Who created the system? Let me go in directly a little bit more, just for the fun of things. You sound like the child that was born. Some children are like this. Is a fancy little lawsuit in the United States. Some child was born to a family, and the child is suing the parents because they brought them into existence. And somehow the judge is ruling in the child's favor. That's insane. So take some responsibility for your life, Carlos. Instead of blaming God, oh God, why did you put me here? You put me here, so I'm going to slaughter as much animals as I possibly can. No, that's irresponsible. Who put you here? I'm not here to answer that question. You figure it out for yourself.
Okay, I remember now what I was going to say in the beginning. So this is what's going on here. The ones who are actually suffering here are you guys. You gurus and Buddhists and Hindus who try to have this moral high ground, which is basically completely backwards against reality. The fact of the matter is that we live in a world where things live and then they pass away. That's the circle of life. The only ones who are trying to pretend like that's not supposed to happen is you guys. So you live outside of reality. Us meat eaters, we just accept the fact that there's food on the planet. And the other thing that you made too, the comment about, oh, there's a small population of the earth that goes around and they do the slaughtering and you guys just benefit from it. But that's BS, okay? Because before that's now, obviously now there's also a small population of people who grow your plants. Do you farm? You don't farm, do you? You don't do any of that. So it's the same exact argument I could make towards you. The people who work in those jobs, great for them. Before, we used to all be hunters and gatherers. The entire population were hunters and gatherers. And depending on where you lived, there may not be nothing to gather. There would be no vegetation, no fruits, no plants, no nuts, no seeds for you to eat. There'd be nothing but animals. And what would you tell that person who was just happened to be born in that side of the planet, not his fault, and he has nothing to eat? Are you going to tell him to just pass away and unexist because of your moral standards? No. You understand that that's what he would have to do, and he would do it, and that would be the purpose and the design of the creator. Once again. And again, whether you like it or not, whether I stop eating animals and you stop eating animals, animals will still eat each other in way more horrible ways than we could ever do to them. They literally eat each other alive. Okay? A lion will eat a gazelle while it's alive. It'll start slowly taking its body parts off one by one while the gazelle is alive. And I didn't create that system. You need to understand that you guys are avoiding this concept of being unalive. I hate saying this word unalive because it doesn't hit. It doesn't hit. Are we not allowed to say the other word?
You're allowed
Is
to
that
say it.
illegal?
Yeah, it's
Huh?
fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. You guys are avoiding the fact that we're all going to die. We're all going to die horrible deaths. Yes, we are, whether you like it or not. 90% of us will die horrible. Of course, there are going to be some lucky people who will die in their sleep. There's going to be some lucky people who maybe get into a car accident, whatever it is. But most people are going to live long enough to see themselves get old, have their health deteriorate, suffer for years, months and years, and then pass away. And again, I didn't create that system. This is a horrible, scary, ugly, disgusting system that was created, and I was just born into it.
Okay.
And you guys are trying to avoid it.
No. So what you're doing there is you're justifying the slaughter of animals. That's a good justification. Maybe one of the best justifications that I've heard. We're all gonna die here and we put here to die. So it's okay to slaughter 100 billion animals. It's no problem. I can make the same argument for the situations that are happening halfway across the world in Europe. It's okay. Let it happen. We're all born here to die. Some man lures some victim into his house. It's okay. It's okay. It's not okay, buddy. I understand the fact that we're all gonna die and whatever else. This is we're breeding these animals into existence, torturing them for the rest of their lives, and just to slaughter them for taste pleasures. It's wrong. It's not avoidance.
Good point that you just made about allowing things that are happening just because of the fact that they're happening. Good. So, like, for example, there's slavery happening in other parts of the world. There's genocides happening in other parts of the world. Also, we should allow it to happen. It's not, I need you to understand something. These things, or whatever does or does not happen or not happen because it's right or wrong. It happens because some people have more power than others. It's called survival of the fittest. And that's what you need to learn. Okay? If you really wanted to do something about this veganism thing, you would become powerful, you'd become a ruler, and you would enforce it as a law. But guess what you do? You sit there and you whine and you complain about 99% of the population, and nothing is ever going to get done about it, unfortunately. Okay, so for example, those genocides that are happening across the world, the slavery that's happening across the world, of course it's wrong, but it's happening because of survival of the fittest. The strong will always take advantage of the weak. That is, again, how it was designed to be, but not by me, not by you, by the Creator. Do something about it.
It's actually, first and foremost, not survival of the fittest. It is survival of the most adaptable to their environment. Is a commonly misunderstood phrase and sentence. Yes, you should Google it up. And yeah, that's exactly what ChatGPT says. It agrees with me. I was just checking. That's correct.
Oh, so I'm arguing against you and ChatGPT right now.
That's one thing. Second thing. Let's see. How should I tackle this?
What did you just type into there? How do I beat Carlos in the veganism debate?
No, survival of the fittest or survival of the most adaptable. And the survival of the most adaptable aligns more closely to the interpretations of evolution. But this is not here nor there. I'm here to educate myself. It's not about me, ChatGPT, and I plus you, or whatever. Okay, so look, I don't even know. Yes, it's wrong. It's wrong to kill human beings. It's also wrong to kill animals. Plain and simple. Very fundamental. Can we agree on that? It's wrong to kill animals just because it like tastes good a little bit.
No, we can't. No, we can't because you know what? When I listen, and I've explained to you many times already this. When I was going through the process where I thought I was going to be unalived, I thought it was wrong too.
It is wrong.
I was like, what the hell? Who's doing this to me? Why am I going to have to be, why is the doctor telling me that I have a couple weeks left to live? I thought it was wrong. Was my morality going to come and save me? Were you going to come and save me? Was Sadhguru going to come and save me? Was a vegan going to come into my room and say, oh, look, as long as you stop eating animals, it's not going to happen to you? No, it was going to happen regardless. So what you need to understand is that we live in a world where unfair things happen, unjust things that we think are unjust. But guess what? I told you from the beginning, you didn't put yourself here, Shiva. You didn't create yourself. You didn't make this system. You didn't make yourself be born. You don't know what you're doing here, and therefore you don't get to decide what is fair and what is just.
Yes, I do.
Just because you look at it with your eyes and you feel bad doesn't mean that that's what it is. But let me read a comment here from Born Accountant.
You
All life, when living or ending, is in suffering. Whether a life is meant to be food or a life in nature, it is the same life of suffering. Some life is meant for food and it can be designed with less suffering.
all right.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful comment,
All right.
boring accountant.
So yeah, if you're watching me also in my chat, I can see all your chat. Shaman Askew and Jyotish Sharma. I can see your messages. So if you have questions, write them down. Carlos, you're misunderstanding the existential nature of reality and existence. The fact that you're born and you're going to die, that's the nature of all things. Is that wrong? Is that right? I mean, I don't really know. But
Don't dodge it
hey,
though.
I'm not dodging it. What
You
is
are. You're
wrong?
saying, "Oh, is it wrong? Is it right? I don't know." You have pick a side. Pick a side.
That's me fighting against the universe or deciding what the universe is.
Exactly. That's what you're
No,
doing right
no,
now,
no.
Shiva.
Versus someone coming into your house with an assault rifle and deciding, hey, you know what? I don't really like Carlos. I'm gonna eat him up for breakfast. No,
Now let
that's
me ask you this.
wrong. We're
Let me
gonna
ask you
stop
this.
you.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. What if that person who comes into my household or whatever comes in and steals all my belongings? What
Wrong.
if he was born into a situation where he has children and now, because of the way society is built, he's poor and his kids don't have nothing to eat?
Oh,
Is
it'd
it
be,
still wrong for him to come
his
and steal all my
society is
stuff?
poor. It's your fault. You're poor. Your fault. Too freaking bad. Go get a job. Go figure it out. Go ask someone. Hey, Carlos, I'm freaking poor. My kids are starving. Can I ask for
My
some food?
friend,
All right. No, no, I gotta go rob you. No, that's wrong. Fundamentally. Going against nature if you're stealing. No
my
killing,
friend,
stealing, lying, misusing your sexual energy, intoxicating your mind. There you go, okay? That's you fighting against the Buddha or you fighting against nature. There's no going
look,
outside.
listen to me. I'll give it to you. Look, I'll give you this. Do I feel bad when I eat an animal? Of course I do. Of course, 100%. I feel your pain. You know what? Let's take a moment of silence for all the unalived animals that have, been unalived for our nutrition. Trust me, I feel it. I get it. I get it. It seems terrible. But as someone who has had to deal with this firsthand, you haven't yet. You're 20 something years old. You think you're going to live forever. You think, oh, if I just do the right thing, as long as I don't hurt anybody, it's all fine and dandy. Da, da, da. Wait, wait till you live a completely moral life, never touching yourself, never having touched a woman, never having eating an animal, and then all of a sudden you still catch a horrible, terrible disease. You're gonna then realize what the heck was I doing all that for? I still end up with the same terrible uh, destination as everybody else.
Okay. Something you mentioned that you felt bad for the animals. Yes, animals terrible for your nutrition. All right. So I have a cat. Okay, she's like 12 years old, and I have lots of food in my cupboard. I have beans, lentils, grains, legumes, seeds, nuts, berries, fruits, vegetables. I have so much food in my house. But you know what? I'm fancying a little bit of meat. It just tastes really nice. You know what, Molly? That's my cat's name. I'm just gonna cut your neck open, skin you alive or skin you, and toss you on the barbecue because who cares? Is that wrong? Is that wrong?
I would consider it wrong. And the thing about it is this: look,
Well,
let me ask you this. So, does morality change over time, or should it be consistent?
expand on that. What do you mean by that?
Because so at one point in time, like right now, you have to understand the way that you're living right now is all because of modern technology, modern, what do they call it? It's like you're living like life with a silver spoon in your mouth, right? You have grocery stores. You can go to the grocery stores. You have all sorts of varieties of fruits and vegetables and legumes and all this and whatever crap you talk about. You can pick and choose as much as you want and you can eat it. That's not how life used to be. You understand that that is a luxury of modern living, right? You do get that. In the
Yes.
past, in the past for actually, and you know what the funny thing about it is, if human beings have been alive on this planet for millions of years, millions, this agriculture nonsense that you're talking about has only been around for 1,000 or so. So you're talking about 99% of our history, we had to eat whatever was available. If there was fruits, we'd eat it. If there was plants, we'd eat it. If there was nuts, we'd eat it. But if we went somewhere and there was none of that and there was a nice, juicy, tasty animal and there was nothing else for us to do, we'd have to eat it. And now you're living here in your with your Canadian flag behind you and your nice little fireplace. And now you're like, oh, we don't have to do that anymore. Okay, cool. Sounds nice. But guess what? We were put in a world. We were all born into a world where that was a normal part of life, and human beings evolved with that being part of our diet. And now, and for that entire time, for those millions of years, it wasn't unethical. But now you have people like you who want to benefit off of taking this moral high ground by making us all seem like bad people to make yourself feel better. That's all that's happening.
Whoa, those are some nice statements. So, okay, where do I begin? Well, wow, how should I start this? There's just so much. Okay, first and foremost, moral high ground, yes. Animals, look, killing animals is wrong, is unethical, whether you do it 100,000 years from now, or ago, or today. 100,000 years ago, maybe you had better justification. Because, hey, this animal wants to live, but I don't have any food, so looks like you're gonna have to die. I wouldn't disagree. That's perfectly, I wouldn't say it's fine, but hey, I mean, what can you do? You gotta feed your kids, and that little deer is running around. Time to end his life because we're not smart enough to figure out how to grow our own food or whatever else. So
Thank you.
now, fortunately, we have that luxury. It's a luxury, a huge luxury. So the grotesque brutality of slaughtering and murdering animals for really no reason at all. It doesn't give you any nutrition. It's a proven fact that
Wrong.
eating processed meat is a carcinogen. It's
Wrong.
one of the number one leading causes of death in the United States, at least and especially.
Wrong.
It's unethical. It's unhealthy. Spiritually, you're doing the wrong thing. It takes a long
Wrong.
time to digest. Your human system isn't evolved, or not evolved, but isn't designed essentially to eat this.
Wrong.
And now you can go to the grocery store and eat the best foods. You don't have to eat the dead, rotting, fleshy, blood-filled carcass, which is not appetizing. It's just you're feeding your ignorance. No reason to do that. And to top it off, the cherry on the top, yes, it is moral high ground. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Me saying war is wrong, hey, don't invade the country. No, no, you're being such a moral high ground person. Yeah, that's the moral thing to say. Well, you know, it's not immoral. Hey, let's go invade. Yeah, that's wrong. That's unethical. It's also unethical to slaughter 100 billion animals a year just because it tastes nice.
Good, good. All right, all right, all right. Let me stop you there for a second. Let me read a comment and then I'm going to talk about war. Expand with Gregory says, in our modern culture, we are very disconnected from the cycle of life, and particularly death. So it is easy to take a moral high ground to say meat eating is inherently wrong. Oof.
Look,
Couldn't have said it easier
you're
myself.
such a
No, hold on a
misunderstanding.
second. Let me go into it. Exactly what he just said. We are very disconnected from the cycle of life. We're disconnected from nature. We used to just live in the jungles. We used to live in caves. We used to ground. We used to get sun. Our lives were based around the sun and our circadian rhythms, right? All this other crap that you preach about, and also eating meat was also a part of all of that.
Oh,
And
wow.
now, like he's saying, we don't have to do it anymore, but we evolved to do it. We evolved to do it. And so, yes, is our body designed to do it? Absolutely. You say that it's been proven that it's healthy. That's a lie. Okay. It's already been proven that most vegans have to take supplementation to supplement what they don't get out of their own diet. First of all, let's get to your second point about war. Okay. War, for example, right? Again, is not created by me or you or anybody. It was inherently a part of the design of the system that we live in by the higher power, by the creator. Why? Because we're all fighting for resources. The main one that we can talk about is oil, for example. We can talk about gold, we can talk about silver, we can talk about copper, we can talk about things that make batteries, whatever. Some countries have it, some countries don't have it, but we all need it. So if your higher power or whatever it is that you believe in wanted to make everything so fair, he could have just equally distributed it all across the whole planet Earth. But he didn't. He chose to make some countries rich in these resources and some countries poor in these resources. And then what does that cause? Inherently causes conflict. And that's why war exists. Again, so I didn't make this system up.
Okay.
I didn't make it up.
Yeah.
The universe did, God did, whoever else intended for these things to take place.
Oh, yes, intended. Okay. You keep bringing up this God concept or this idea. I don't really know where God is or how you know his intentions or beliefs. I mean, all right. So with that same argument, then all the people that do wrong things to children, also God designed just a kind of part of life. No, buddy. What you're doing as a human being, you're responsible for that. If you're going to war, it's not because of God or resources or that. It's you. It's you. Slaughtering animals, your fault. I know how.
Let me explain to you what happens. Look, bad things are going to happen regardless, right? Like you just mentioned, bad things happen to children. Of course they do. Does God want that to happen? I would hope not. But does it happen regardless? It sure does. So guess what happens? It's up to us, right, to stop it. And so again, it comes down to survival of the fittest. And usually what happens is we don't decide whether we want something right or wrong to be right or wrong because it's inherently right or wrong. We decide whether it's right or wrong because we don't want it to happen to us. You get what I'm saying? So like, for example, we make things like, stealing illegal because I don't want it to happen to me, right? So it's that simple. It's something that comes out of not out of morality necessarily. It comes out of a place of selfishness, basically. It's like I don't want you to steal from me, or I might not have the ability to protect myself, and so therefore I'm going to create a police force to protect me from you stealing from me. That's it.
Yes.
But all of it is enforced through violence.
Right. That's okay. Yes,
So
perfectly
it's
fine.
basically your ability, your capability, your capacity to exert violence. You get to decide what's right and wrong. That's the truth of the matter. That's the truth of how this system works. If you can exert more violence than the next person, then you can say they can say, oh, 1 + 1 = 2, but you exert more violence than them, you can say, nope, not anymore. 1 + 1 now equals 4. Do something about it. I exert more violence than you. What are you gonna do?
Just because you're exerting more violence, buffoon, and you're telling people 1 + 1 = 5 or 10 or 15, it doesn't make it accurate. You know what we call that person? A fool, an unintelligent fool. And there's a lot of them out there. They're running the countries. Just because they have power doesn't make it wrong. It's an ethics is something that ethics is created by nature. Yes, you're correct. You don't want it to happen to you. So that's why we shouldn't kill animals, because you don't want to get killed. And animals experience pain. You also experience pain. Why are you doing that to that creature? Do you really need it that bad to survive, or your little vitamins? Vegans need B12. So do you. So do the animals that you eat. You also need vitamin D, and so do you, and so do the animals you eat. Those are the only supplements you need. What? Can I eat some fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes? It's very easy. Go take some B12. Your animals are getting supplemented with B12. So that's a big thing.
It shows you that it's not. It shows you that it's not a natural diet.
No.
Let me read a comment here from Boring Accountant. He says, I guess this question is for you, Shiva. If we could grow animals, this is what I love about vegans. I want to ask you this too. He says, if we could grow animals, I guess like he's saying like in the lab or whatever. Like I'm sure you've heard of this process, right? Where now they're starting to figure out how to grow animals or whatever. So if we could grow animals and provide an end of life without suffering, then is eating meat okay?
No, it's not okay. Because if
Wait. I'm talking about if you grow meat in a lab.
Oh yeah, I mean, if there's no suffering, no sentient being is being caused pain, freaking eat whatever you want.
And this is what cracks me up about you vegans. When I go to the vegan section of any supermarket, do you know what I see? I
What?
see impossible meat. I
You mean
see
vegan section? You mean like fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes? That's the majority of the
yeah.
store.
When I go to the vegan section
Hmm.
of any supermarket, like 90% of the products there are like, this is like a vegetable burger. This is the impossible burger. These mushrooms taste just like steak.
Yeah.
Like, do you not see how you guys want to eat meat so bad?
No, I don't see that. I don't want to eat meat so bad. I don't buy those products. That's for people that are transitioning or crave the taste of meat for whatever reason. You know what's worse? That's so funny. They're made from plants. Oh my God. Go to the meat section. It's like a bunch of dead bodies, a bunch of victims slaughtered. Jesus. It's worse than a horror movie because it's real life. That's scary. Oh my God. Someone should call the police. Someone abused a shitload of animals. They should be put in jail. And whoever is buying this, whoever is consuming this product, an illegal product, also should be in jail. They should be in jail. Cocaine addicts are in jail. They're consuming a illegal substance. Jail time.
I still think that you should go ahead and answer my last statement. I think this argument's already, I think we
What?
both said what we needed to
I
say.
already did answer your
My
question.
first statement already again was babies are unalived every day. People are unalived every day, unjustly, unfairly. If you have an issue with unjust, unfair suffering, take it up with the creator, but you won't. You want to bring me on and you want to make it sound like I'm the causer of all this
Yes,
misery
you
and
are.
suffering.
No, you're the cause of
Bring
animal
it up.
suffering.
Why don't you bring it up? Okay, cool. I'm the one that specifically causes some animal suffering.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
But the creator of the universe causes all suffering
Does he?
with
Really?
the system that he designed and he created. Yeah.
Ah, very interesting.
Yeah, he did. So why don't you say anything to him?
That's
I want you to answer that question directly. Answer it directly
okay.
without dodging.
So why did the creator of the universe cause all the suffering and this system? First of all, you're assuming there's a creator. Do I know there's a creator? I have no idea. Do you know?
We just had a podcast about
Stop
this where
pulling
you
it out of
agreed
your
there
ass.
was a creator.
Secondly, suffering and how he designed the system. Do I know this is a system designed for suffering? No, there's some suffering. There is suffering. Is it a design by him? Thirdly, you're expecting me, hey, God, come over here. I've been telling God to come over here for a long time. Hasn't happened yet. So all these little things, assumptions, we should just put them aside and let's see what you're doing. What are you responsible for? Hey, God created this suffering game, so I should just go on the street and slap people in the face. That's too bad. God created it this way. No, jail time. Abusing animals, jail time. People who abuse animals, jail time. Time for jail.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we both
All
made our
right,
argument.
let me read some of the questions or comments that people have been writing to
Okay.
me. Okay. So let's see. Yes, we have a choice. Okay, let me go back to talking about what was said
You better be
recently.
reading some of the ones that are on my side too. Don't just dodge.
This is a unique period of history. We have the ability to go to grocery stores that allow us choice. Yes, the percentage of hunter gatherers is probably the same as vegans nowadays. No one is out there hunting. That's correct. We have been here for millions of years, probably a million max. No, we've only been here for 200,000 years. That's what scientists say. At least the Homo sapien. That's how.
Whoa.
That's what I remember learning about. Anyways, we can ask
That is
ChatGPT.
not true, but anyway, keep going.
Okay, we need some more real scientists, doctors to tell Carlos how to read empirical studies. Yes, it's a proven fact. It's a fact that eating a meat-eating diet is inferior to a plant-based diet.
Wrong.
Dominance is cringe. Okay, maybe. Created appeal to the masses population. Some people enjoy it, but not all. I guess it's talking about meat. It doesn't mean we should eat meat if we like how it tastes. That's correct. Just because you like how it tastes doesn't justify slaughtering them. I don't do drugs.
I didn't even say that once.
Well, that's essentially what you're doing, whether you like it or not, subconsciously. You're not doing it because you're surviving. You're doing it because you're a nice little taste.
I'm doing it because we evolved to do it. Keep
Oh
going.
yeah, we've also been evolved to do horrendous things to others, and especially to women. Why don't you go and
we
do that?
still do.
Yeah,
We
not
still
me,
do it.
not me. The unethical people that should be behind
You,
behind bars. So similarly, you don't do it. Okay, so raise up your ethics a little bit, and also extend the same rights to animals as you do to human beings. They don't deserve
Shiva,
to
I
die.
would love to see what you do if you had complete authority and power. You'd rob people of all of their income just to get a chance to speak to you.
Look, you don't need a complete authority and power to do horrendous things. People are already doing that without any power. So let's not
Including
pretend
you.
that power and I have some sense of power, or am I abusing it every single day? I have 4,000 people watching me or subscribe to me. Anyways,
Yeah. So think about what you do with your little bit of power that you have.
what do I do?
4,000 subscribers, you charge them to speak to you.
Correct. Yeah.
So imagine now, expand that out. If you had a lot more power, what you would do.
Charge more to speak to me. What else? What else is there to do?
Exactly. So we can say that with power comes abuse. It's very simple.
No, with power
You're
comes
abusing
great
your
responsibility. Wait, you didn't watch Spider-Man? Come on, get it together. Kayla, continue reading the comments. Okay. I don't do drugs, but I like how it feels. Okay, too far. How can someone as sensitive as Frank Young not be detect eating meat is bad? Okay, I'm not sure. Creator gave us freedom. We have freedom to learn to choose wisely. We have the freedom to corrupt so we can learn. That's correct. We have the freedom. You have a conscious brain and to choose. You shouldn't do the wrong things. Just because you have power doesn't mean you're corrupt. It just means that you're corrupted by nature. Power or no power. We can evolve not by the... Okay.
What I
So,
want to do is this. I want to give everybody out there a message that this is one thing that for sure I can give credit to Shiva for. He has definitely made me more aware of the fact of that every time that I do eat a piece of meat, that I should be more conscious of the fact that a living being gave up its life for my nutrition. 100%. Now, what I have to do though is also realize that just as that animal's life had to one day end, regardless of whether he wanted to or not, the same exact thing is going to happen to me. And so when we participate in this circle of life where the strong eat the weak, it's like a form of acceptance of this life and death cycle that we are also trapped in. And when you deny that cycle, the only thing that you're doing is making it more difficult for the time when it comes time for you to go, for you to pass away. It's going to be that much more difficult because you're going to be sitting there wondering, well, why is it happening to me if I never did it to anything else?
okay, first and foremost, let me just dunk on you a little bit and let me flex. I understand life, and simultaneously, I understand death far more than you. Maybe out of all the people that are listening to me, I understand death better than all of them combined. So please, don't lecture me here that I'm gonna somehow never had a near-death experience or never explored death. Oh God, death! I didn't kill animals. How am I dying at 80 years old? Oh my God, oh Jesus, how is this happening? No. Just because the life process inevitably ends in death, birth, old age, and death, doesn't mean that you should go walk in the forest where tigers are roaming. And hey, you should accept death because tiger is more powerful, it's gonna crunch you to death. No, no, no. We're gonna stop the tiger from doing that because you wanna live, you don't wanna prematurely die. Similarly with animals, you should extend the same rights to animals. Hey, we don't wanna cause them suffering by our hands. Let me go torture you a little bit. No. We just leave it aside. Can we do that? Is it possible to eat a plant-based diet and be happy and healthy? Yes, it is possible. So there's no need for suffering. Anyways,
guys, if you could, make sure you hit that like button for me. Also subscribe to the channel.
ChatGPT says Homo sapiens have been on Earth for approximately 300,000 years, based on fossil evidence. So not a million years, 300,000 years at most. That's
okay. For how long have we been eating agriculture?
Let's see. I'm
You're
gonna
talking
ask.
about Homo sapiens. You're not talking about Homo erectus that we evolved from. You're not talking about any of that.
So humans have been practicing agriculture for approximately 10 to 12,000 years. This shift from hunter-gatherer lifestyle and farming, domesticated plants and animals marks the beginning of the Neolithic revolution. Correct. So becoming better, bigger brains, healthier, stronger, more conscious, more evolved in life.
Yeah, so expanding
Thank you,
with
agriculture.
Gregory. Expand with Gregory says, Carlos, do you feel that veganism is a subconscious avoidance of the reality of death? Oof,
Wait, what did you say?
absolutely. He said, Carlos, do you feel that veganism is a subconscious avoidance of the reality of death?
Oh my God, you
He hit it right on
fools.
the head.
Fools.
He hit it right on the head. Guys, make sure, please, once again, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe, join the community post, hit the Discord server
This isn't over.
invite, join the Discord. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I think it is. I think that you don't like the idea of dying. Neither do I.
No, not dying. Killing. Killing. Not dying. Killing.
Regardless, you are going
Killing.
to be killed.
By who?
You are by life, by the
What?
creator,
Really?
by a planet,
Are you sure?
by your life, by your
No.
body
That's not
deteriorating.
how defined. That's dying. Killing
You
and
can
dying
call
is
it
not the same.
you can call it however you want. It
Yeah.
feels the same exact
Getting a
way.
knife stuck to your throat is not the same
Scary.
as
It's scary either
to you.
way.
To you,
It's
maybe.
scary either way.
Well,
It's going to be scary either way.
I'll hold your hand
Even
when.
your God, that guru, begged for his life for months. Went to Western hospitals
What?
to try to figure out. Flew here, flew there, flew to the United States,
Yeah,
flew to this
smart.
state, flew to that state, trying to figure out how to cling on to dear life.
To protect his body? Of course. Well, you
Of
wouldn't do the
course,
same?
because it's a scary process. If he was
You're
really
assuming
so
things.
enlightened, he could have just been like, you know what, I'll just let go.
No,
But
no,
it
no, no,
wasn't
no.
until months and months and months and months and months and months that he finally got tired of the fact that he realized these doctors can't save me. He finally gave up. Of course, even I did the same thing. At some point, you get tired of just being in a hospital. Okay, but did he try to cling on to his dear life? He sure as heck did. Why didn't he show us the clear example of detachment at that point? Why didn't he say, you know what?
Detachment from your life, buddy.
I'm completely detached.
No.
I have no attachments to this physical reality. BS
What?
nonsense.
That's not life.
And that's what you need to realize is that we all need to be more conscious of the fact that this life is going to end.
Yes.
And therefore, if our life is going to end, no
We
problem.
should slaughter animals. Oh, very good
We
statement.
should also consider being part of the cycle of life. Also, to be a part of life, no problem. That's it.
Is that a justification for killing animals? No, I'm not really sure how it goes.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
Okay. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Is it a justification for the creator to put us here to be unalive?
Those are your assumptions. Those are your stories.
Yeah, I know, and you keep dancing around it. You don't want to answer
because I don't know.
You don't want to ask. Yeah, exactly. You don't know.
Yeah.
So just leave it there.
I am leaving it there. That's what I did. Leave it. I did leave it.
You don't know. So
I know what's happening here today.
So that means if you don't know, then that means you don't know whether it's moral or not.
Oh no, I do know. It's very simple.
You have no idea.
I do know.
You have no idea.
Killing is immoral.
All you know is that just like how you don't like animals to be unalived, you're also not going to like being unalive. But it's still going to happen to you.
Not by another person's hand.
And you don't know why. It doesn't matter.
It matters.
Again, Shiva, think about it this way. What is more suffering? You being unalived quickly by someone else's hand, or you being unalived by spending months and years before as you get old and then you become unalived? Which one's more suffering?
Well, the first one. The first one, yes.
The first one?
Yes.
So if someone comes up to you randomly and just pops you.
Yeah, that's tragic.
There's a lot of suffering there?
Yes, very much. Very intense. Very quick, but gone. I prematurely died. My family gonna suffer.
Anyway, on that
disease,
we're gonna go ahead and
cause it to myself.
Wrap it up. Whether you like it or not, whether I eat an animal or not, there's a deer in the forest that's gonna live I don't know how long deers live. Let's say they live 40 years. They're gonna live in the forest, and then one day he's gonna break his leg.
Oh.
And then one day he's gonna land in a ditch, and he's gonna sit there for 3 weeks, and he's gonna suffer. and then little hyenas are gonna come and tear his body apart while he's still living.
Oh, now I
And
can
that's
comfortably eat meat.
and that's the life that you think that I'm
Oh,
supposed to.
I didn't
But
see
I'm
that.
supposed to come in with my white knight, with my
Oh.
cape, and I'm gonna be the guy
Let's
who
add
just
more
brings
suffering. Now it makes
morality.
sense. Let's do
Why don't
more
you
to
just admit
animals.
that you're trying to sit? Why don't you
Let's
just
do
admit?
more. You're
Why don't you
right.
just admit that you're trying to sell a course? You avoid death like you avoid sexuality, just so that you can say that you do something that 99% of the world doesn't do, so that you can sell a course to them and explain to them why they can't do the things that you do. It's that simple.
It's not a good justification for killing animals. Sorry.
So anyway, guys, I think that's it. I think we both made our arguments. Shiva, do you want to say anything to close?
No, if you think I won, write Shiva in the comments. If you think Carlos won, write Carlos in the comments. Let's see. We'll give you like
Please do
a few
that. Please do
seconds to
that.
do that.
Also, whoever's watching my channel, make sure you follow Shiva at Shiva Kailash Shambho. And if you're watching Shiva's channel, follow me at Scary Hours Podcast. Once again, join our Discords. We both have links to our Discords in our community post section. If you join, then we'll bring you on to the podcast if you want to join in on the conversation. We will
Yes.
catch you guys
So
on